The atmosphere in the living room was thick with tension, a storm of emotions brewing behind tear stained faces and frantic voices. Minji stood at the center, her fingers trembling around the neck of a small brown bottle, its label half peeled, but its contents dangerously clear. Her face was flushed with desperation, eyes glistening with unshed tears and madness. I swear I'll drink this whole bottle if she ends up marrying him. Once father raised his hands, his voice lined with panic and disbelief. No, no, daughter, put that down. Don't be foolish. We will talk to her. Just please let it go. But Minji wasn't listening. Her grip on the poison only tightened like it was the last piece of control she had left in a crumbling world. No, wine won't leave him. You all know that, and you know I love him. I love him so much I can't breathe without him. Wine's mother stepped forward, her voice shaking with both fear and authority. Okay, fine, we get it, Minji. But for heaven's sake, put that bottle down now. Before Minji could respond, a figure stormed into the scene, her older brother, Minsu, with barely a moment's hesitation. He lunged forward and snatched the bottle from her trembling hand, his face controlled with anger and worry. Have you lost your mind? What were you thinking, huh? Is this how you deal with rejection now? Minji cried out, trying to get the bottle back, but Minsu shoved it behind him and held her wrists tightly. Let me go, I'm serious. If she marries him, I'll die. I will, Oppa, I swear I will. Just then, the front door creaked open and Wine stepped in. Her backpack slung over one shoulder and exhaustion written across her face from the long college day. But the scene that greeted her stole the breath from her lungs. Oh, hello everyone, what's going on here? She looked around, confused by the chaotic mess, the bottle now laying on the table, her brother holding Minji, who looked like she was on the verge of collapse, and her parents standing pale with shock and concern. Wine Mom immediately turned away from the bottle and pointed toward the hallway, trying to restore some order. Minji, go to your room right now. Minji, still panting, turned her head slowly toward Wine. Her eyes locked onto hers with a gaze so sharp, so venomous that it sent a chill down Wine's spine. But mom, I said now. Wine dad turned toward Minsu, voice low but firm. Minsu, take her upstairs, don't let her out until she calms down. Minsu didn't wait for further instructions. Still gripping Minji's wrist, he began dragging her toward the staircase despite her wild protests and cries echoing through the house. You can't do this to me. I love him. I love him. Her voice faded down the hallway as she disappeared into her room, the door slamming shut behind her. And in the middle of it all, Wine stood frozen, her heart beginning to race as the realization hit her. This chaos, this madness was all because of him. The living room, once a space of warmth and comfort, now felt like a courtroom. You sat quietly on the edge of the sofa, your hands curled tightly into your lap as your parents stood before you. Faces etched with concern, but their tone cutting like glass. Wine, this has to end. Your heart sank. What? What do you mean? Wine Dad sighed heavily, walking a step closer, his expression more serious than ever. We can't let you marry him. He's dangerous, Wine. He's a mafia man involved in things that could ruin you, ruin all of us. You are our daughter. We can't watch you walk into fire willingly. This marriage is cancelled. We have already spoken to the elders. You will not meet him again. You stared at them, stunned. Their words echoed in your chest like thunder. You tried to speak, but nothing came out. Your lips parted, but your voice had drawn in the wave of heartbreak crashing through you. They didn't understand. They didn't see how his touch softened when you were near, how his voice dropped to a whisper when he said your name, how behind that cold, feared exterior was a heart that only beat for you, but your pleas would fall on deaf ears tonight. So he stood up, nodding mechanically like a lifeless puppet, and without saying another word, you walked upstairs, your feet heavy, your chest hollow. Once inside your room, the door clicked shut behind you. You slowly slide down to the floor, your back against the wood, and your tears finally betrayed you. They fell freely, silent and unstoppable. As you buried your face in your hands, shaking from the pain, everything hurt. Every memory of him now felt like salt in your wounds. Suddenly, your phone buzzed on the side table, you glanced at it, and your heart skipped a beat. Jungkook calling. You froze, your breath catch in your throat. He always knew just the sound of your voice, that tiniest change in your tone, and he could read your soul. If he heard you crying tonight, it would kill him inside. So you let it ring and ring again until it lit up one more time. You couldn't do it, you had to hear him just once. With trembling hands, you picked it up. Hello, his voice came instantly, calm but laced with worry. Angel, what's wrong? You tried your best to sound normal, swallowing down your sobs. Nothing, just tired. But he wasn't fooled. Don't lie to me, you have been crying. Tell me who said what. Did someone hurt you? You remained silent. Wine, come outside, I'm downstairs. I couldn't wait anymore, I had to see you. Your eyes widened, heart thudding. What, Chongko? No, you shouldn't be here if my parents see you. I don't care, let them see. I'll fight the word for you, but I need you to come down. Just for a minute, I won't leave without seeing your face. You hesitated, torn between fear and longing, but hearing his voice, his raw, desperate need for you was enough to shatter your resistance. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'll wait, always. You quickly wiped your tears and rushed to your closet. Your hands shook as you changed out of your college clothes into something soft, something he always liked. A simple white dress, the one he once called his peace in chaos. You grabbed your phone, tiptoed down the stairs, heart pounding in your ears. You didn't even glance toward the living room. You just needed to see him, and there he was, outside under the street light, leaning against his black car, Jungkook. Dressed in all black, his presence radiated silent power and something more protectiveness. His eyes searched the house until they landed on you, and in that moment, everything else disappeared. He straightened, took a step forward, and opened his arms slightly, silently asking if you were okay. You walked toward him, and with every step, your broken heart began to stitch itself back together. The inside of his sleek black Mercedes was filled with silence. You sat quietly in the passenger seat, your face turned towards the window, watching the city lights blur past. In the past, these drives were filled with laughter, soft teasing, and his hand occasionally reaching over to squeeze yours. But tonight there was only stillness. Chunko glanced at you a few times, his jaw clenched, but he didn't ask. He knew you were shutting down, and the last thing he wanted was to push you further into that shell. He simply drove. After some time, the car pulled up in front of a breathtaking restaurant. Its architecture, modern, luxurious, with dim gold lighting, wrapping the building like warmth. The Whalers immediately recognized the car and bowed deeply as Jungkook stepped out and opened your door himself. You looked up at the golden sign above the doors. It was his restaurant, the one he once told you he built in memory of his mother. It was one of the most expensive in the city, yet tonight it was completely empty, just waiters. Just silence, just you and him. You stepped inside, heels clicking on the polished marble floor. The chandeliers above glowed softly, casting delicate shadows across the velvet booths. One of the staff approached with a nervous smile. Sir, your table is ready. Chunguk nodded briefly and led you to a private corner table near the window. The city skyline sparkled outside, but inside, his entire world was watching you, trying to understand your silence. He waved his hand gently, signaling the waiter, bring her usual extra warm. The waiter nodded and vanished without a sound. You sat their hands in your lap, eyes avoiding his. Finally, he spoke, his voice low but firm. Now, tell me what happened. You shook your head slowly, trying to blink back the tears already forming. I want to cancel the wedding. It was barely a whisper, but it hit him like a gunshot. He stared at you for a second, frozen. The warmth in his eyes vanished, replaced with something sharp and terrifying. He stood up abruptly, his chair screeching slightly against the floor. Then, without a word, he walked over to the wall and punched it hard. The sound echoed like thunder across the empty restaurant. Once, twice, his knuckles split. Blood smeared the white paint. Chungkook stopped. You jumped to your feet, heart racing, and ran toward him. His chest was rising and falling with fury, but the moment your hands touched him, he went still. You looked at his injured hand and broke into sobs. Why did you do that? Why do you always hurt yourself? Why? You think this will fix it? Your voice cracked as you collapsed against his chest, your legs giving out. You buried your face into his black shirt, clutching his jacket with trembling fingers. They told me to leave you. They said, I can't marry you. And Minji, she said she'll kill herself if I do. She loves you, Jungkook. She loves you so much. I didn't know what to do. Everyone's breaking apart. You dropped to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. The weight of it all, the pain, the pressure, the guilt, crushed you. Jungkook dropped to his knees beside you instantly, wrapping his arms tightly around you. He pulled you into his lap, holding you close, his injured hand gently cradling the back of your head. Please don't cry. I'm here. I'm right here, okay? His voice was no longer angry, it was soothing, low, and protective, only meant for you. You don't have to carry this alone. No one can take you from me. Not your parents, not her. You're mine, just trust me, okay? You nodded weakly against his chest, still hiccuping between sobs, and for the first time that night, even in the middle of your chaos, you felt safe again. The morning sun streamed through the windows, casting a soft golden glow over your wedding dress as you stood in front of the mirror. The white satin gown flowed down your body like liquid moonlight, elegant, pure, and delicate. The lace along the sleeves was hand stitched, wrapping around your arms like vines, and the soft veil sat like a whisper atop your perfectly styled hair. You look breathtaking, but your eyes carried the weight of too many battles fought to reach this day. The door creaked open and your father walked in, dressed in a charcoal gray tuxedo with a matching pocket square. His eyes lingered on you for a moment, filled with a thousand emotions pride, regret, sadness, and love. You looked just like your mother did on her wedding day. You smiled faintly, lips trembling. Without another word, he offered his arm, and you took it. Outside, the ceremony was quiet and private. Only a handful of people were seated on white chairs arranged in rows beneath a silk draped canopy. Guards in black suits stood at every corner of the property, their eyes scanning for danger. And there he stood Jungkook, in a black tuxedo tailored to perfection, a deep burgundy pocket square tucked neatly into his chest. His hair was slicked back, jaw clenched, and eyes only on you. There was a quiet storm between his gaze, the kind of love that destroyed kingdoms. He took a slow breath as you walked down the aisle with your father, each step echoing memories and unspoken promises. But just as you reached the altar, chaos cracked the silence. A shrill voice pierced the air, stopped the wedding. Everyone turned. She stood at the edge of the aisle, her hair wild, dress disheveled, and in her hand a piece of broken glass pressed against her wrist. Her arm was already bleeding lightly, the red staining her sleeve. I will cut my vein if you marry her, Jungkook. While mom rushed toward her in panic. Please, Jungkook, don't do this to my Minji. She loves you. Marry her instead, please. Jungkook turned to her slowly, his face tightening with rage, disbelief flashing in his eyes, then his voice sliced through the air like a blade. Then what about your first daughter, huh? He turned to your mother with raw fury burning in his gaze. How could you be this selfish? Throw one daughter away for the other? Is that what motherhood means to you? Your eyes welled with tears, your heart sinking lower than ever. You wanted this moment to be sacred, beautiful, but instead it was being torn apart. Minji stepped forward again, holding up the bloody glass. I swear I'll do it. I cut my vein right now if you say your vows. Jungkook narrowed his eyes, his voice suddenly calm and chilling. Oh, is that so? He stepped toward her, gaze locked onto hers like a predator. Then go ahead, do it. Show us how much you love me. Minji faltered, her hand trembling. What? Jungkook walked up to her slowly, then grabbed her wrist in one swift move. The broken glass nearly fell from her hand, but he gripped it and pressed it closer to her skin. If you can do it, then let me help you. Isn't that what love is? Pain, sacrifice? Minji's eyes widened in horror. Stop, hey, leave me, it's hurting. Oh, but you love me, right? Can't you take a little pain for the man you claim to love? Her face went pale, she stumbled backward, yanking her wrist away, glass clattering to the ground. No, I love you, Jungkook, but I can't hurt myself. I didn't mean it like that. Jungkook scoffed, brushing off his jacket sleeve where her blood had stained it. Huh, just another dramatic act. He turned to the stunned crowd, then back at the priest. Now, if the circus is over, can I please marry the love of my life? Minji gritted her teeth, her face burning with shame and rage, then turned and ran out of the aisle, past the guards, disappearing into the street. And just like that, silence returned. You stepped forward, tears still shining in your eyes, not from sadness this time, but from overwhelming love, and the pain of having it tested. The priest cleared his throat gently, and the ceremony resumed. Vows were exchanged beneath the soft canopy as petals drifted down like blessings from the sky. And with every word Jungkook whispered to you, his voice firm, his gaze unwavering, you knew even if the whole world tried to tear you apart again, they would lose because he always chose you. Always.